Hello there, Lester E. Anovich here with another edition of Wednesday's Wonders. Yes, I'm sure you've been waiting. Today's wonder started just a few days ago when I came home from whatever it is I was doing. I'm sure it was quite important, of course, but I came home and I was greeted once again with my dog, and he was so happy to see me. He was wagging his tail and jumping about and trying to lick me and such, and I petted him and said, "No, okay, thank you very much." But then it made me wonder, why are dogs so loyal to human beings? I mean, granted, we take care of them and all, and we say things like, oh, he's like a member of the family. We couldn't live without him and such. But I still have to wonder why, and I wonder, why are dogs so loyal to human beings? Well, once again, I had my art department come up with a very nice PowerPoint presentation to help me with this and assist me as we go along. So let's look a little bit deeper into this relationship between man and dog. And let's start from the beginning. You see, when dogs are young, very young little creatures, and they're nestled amongst the comfort and security of their mother, what is the first thing that we happen to do? Well, we come along and we snatch them away from their mother and take them away. We essentially kidnap them from their homes and take them to ours. Doesn't seem quite right now, does it? And that's how we begin our relationship. The other thing is, once they get to the home, well, when you're going to live in this home, there are rules to live by. And the first of those rules to live by is everyone in this home has to be potty trained. So we go about trying to train the dog, potty train them, that is. And in the old days, we used to just take a newspaper and just beat the hell out of them until they learned how to go potty on the outside. Now we're much more humane, and we have a new technique that we like to call crating. And what that involves is we essentially put them in a cage. We like to call it a crate because it makes us feel so much better about ourselves. And once in this cage, we let them sit there until their bladders is just about to explode. While they're sitting in there, we, on the other hand, we do our business in the comfort and privacy of a very nice warm room where we sit back and we relax, maybe read the newspaper or just ponder things to come until we're finished with our business, and then we go back out to see how they're doing in the crate of sorts, yes. And once that bladder is good and full and just about ready to explode, we let them out of the crate, and then what do? We open the door and kick their little asses outside and say, "Go potty!" Doesn't matter if it's raining, hail, sleet, snow, lightning, thunder, trees crashing around, go potty. But we are good to them because when they come in, "Good boy, you went potty." And eventually they learn. The irony of this is, however, that a dog can learn to go potty in about 2 to 3 weeks. It takes human beings a good 2 to 3 years before we actually know how to go potty. Seems kind of strange, doesn't it? The other thing is that dogs are a very primal species. The history is they come from wolves, and wolves loved their meat. Wolves lived on their meat. And they went out and hunted their meat. Well, dogs no longer hunt, of course. So what do? Well, we come home from our daily business, whatever that is. And for me, it's always quite important, of course. And we start to prepare our meals. So we go to the kitchen and we put some meat into a frying pan or a cooker of some sort, and we get it sizzling, and we get the aromas going all about in the room, and the dog is just sitting there smelling and hearing the sizzling sound of that meat being fried and prepared. So what do? Well, as human beings, we do what is appropriate. We sit down at the kitchen table and politely eat our meal. And we do it in front of them, but we are humane because we do give them a few little bit of kibbles that look like basically turkey turds and throw it into a bowl and say, "Enjoy your dinner." Oh, it doesn't seem quite fair again now, does it? But that's the way our relationship goes. And the other thing, probably the most egregious thing is when that young puppy is coming to our home, when they're relatively young, we take them on a ride. We take them on a ride to the clinic. And once in the clinic, well, they return, shall we say, with a little less than they had when they went. And they come home and we try to be humane again. And what do? We put a horn on their damn heads because we don't want them to feel the pain of the missing parts. So let them focus on a horn for a little while. But then again, what is the most egregious thing we do? They can no longer have sex, and they have those urges, trust me. We've seen it. We've seen it many times. But what do? We invite them into the comfort of our bedrooms while we nestle in our beds at night, and we fornicate in front of them. Seems a bit sadistic, don't you think? Some people seem to think it's fun. But anyway, it just doesn't seem quite right that we fornicate in front of them while they can't. So in conclusion, I guess it's safe to say that dogs are very loyal companions. They give us unconditional love, and for the most part, they're quite obedient creatures. The question is why? So in my conclusion, the only thing I can come up with, and I'm quite a brilliant person, so I suspect it might be true, the reason why is that dogs are actually very smart creatures. And they understand that based on our history and our relationship together in the past, that if they are not loyal, if they do not give us unconditional love, and if they're not quite obedient, well, we might just take them for, well, let's just say another trip to the clinic. Only this time, there may not be another cone involved when they return home. So with that, I'll leave it, but I want to ask you one question before I go. And feel free to answer below. Let me know your answer. And this question is for all the couples out there. The question is, if you could have your significant other, and I have to say that because it's politically correct now, if you could have your significant other transpose one of these traits amongst them, which one of these traits would it be and why? Please let me know below. I'd appreciate it very much. That's today's Wednesday's Wonder. I'll see you next week. I wonder what that'll be. Bye-bye.